We are The Table, and we're so glad that you have taken time out of your week to join us. Welcome to our segment, In 5, where it is our hope that we will guide you forward in life and faith in the next 5 minutes. If you would like to take this conversation deeper and discover from a faith perspective, head on over to thetablejoliet.org.
All right, friends, welcome to N5, where we are trying to lead you forward in life and faith in less than 5 minutes. Again, hopefully less than 5 minutes this week. We are in episode 3, and today I'm calling it Everything to Gain. That's right, Everything to Gain. And so if you have been with us over the last couple weeks, we've been talking about this idea that Christmas, the Christmas story, establishes us as a leader in someone else's life. And so we've been asking you, who do you need to lead? Like, who in this next year do you need to lead? That's the question we've been asking, the question we've been wanting you to wrestle with. And we've also said this, that as a leader, you can't fake it. Because if you fake it, you don't have it, right? And you know when you don't have it, which leads to insecurity. And it's not just an insecurity issue, but it's an integrity issue. And when there's a lack of integrity, there's a loss of influence in someone else's life. So just be you, like simply be you, and stop pretending and stop trying to be someone else. And so today we're talking about everything to gain. And the other day, my wife came in, her name's Janelle, and she said, she said, enjoy this December 1st. And I remember thinking to myself, yeah, here we go again, another day of online learning, another day. It was like sarcasm 101, you know? And so I don't remember how I meant this, but I just said, it's the only December 1st, 2020 I will ever have. And as I began to process that, I was thinking to myself, like, we think about dates and times in terms of cyclical processes, that December 1st will come around again. The truth is there will be no December 1st, 2020 ever again in my life. And so I started thinking, how is it that I can be present in the moment? You ever heard somebody tell you to be present in the moment, and you get so focused on being present in the moment that you actually can't be present because you're focused on whether you're being present or not? I have that trouble all the time. But people say be present in the moment. And I was thinking the other day as I was walking, how do you define a moment? Is it the next step in the walk? Is it the entirety of the walk? Is it the next hour? Is it the next day? Like, how do we define a moment? And I think we need to quit seeing moments as increments of time and instead see them as increments of opportunity. That's right. Instead of increments of time, we see them as increments of opportunity. And I would say that we have not viewed 2020 as increments of opportunity. My sister has an ornament on a tree, and it says 2020 would not recommend, with a 1-star review. And I would say that has probably been our take for most of us. It has been the longest year ever. But it's because we viewed this experience or this season in increments of time. And so I think one of the biggest struggles is that during this time, we've also focused on everything that we've lost and not what we've gained. In fact, we've been looking at these Christmas movies, and one of my favorites is The Christmas Story. And in The Christmas Story, Ralphie on Christmas Day is really sad when his dad asks him, did you get everything you wanted? And you could tell he was sad, he was dismal, he was dejected. It was like, no, I didn't. And he was so focused on not getting the Red Ryder BB gun that he didn't notice all the gifts that he was given, like his pink bunny outfit from his aunt, you know? He was focused on what he had lost rather than what he had gained. And I think for us, that is the struggle. That we are so focused on what we've lost this last year that we can miss out on what we have so much to gain. We're missing out on the opportunity. Listen, I get it. Some of us have lost loved ones over this last year. whether it's to COVID, maybe you've lost a loved one to cancer, maybe even suicide. Those are all realities that we face. But at some point, there is a mourning that happens, there's a lament that happens, but you have to come out of that at some point. Meaning, if people that you are mourning came back to visit you in your life, would you be living a life that they are excited about in spite of their death? Like, would they be motivated by how you were living in honor of them? Maybe you've lost a job, or maybe you've lost out on a promotion. We've all want to be financially solvent in a time where it's a financial crisis. And so maybe you've missed out on an opportunity and you've focused so much on what you've lost in terms of the job that you've missed out on what you already have. Maybe you've lost out on faith, or maybe even relationships. Hey, come on, it's been a hard season. And I think some of us, our marriages, our relationships with people have just come to an end. And I just want to ask you this. Where is your focus? This is the question I want you to wrestle with for a minute. Where is your focus? Are you focused on what you've lost or what you've gained? And after you think about that for a minute or two, I want to put things into focus for us because I think this is so important. I just want to say this. I want us in 2021 to stop reacting and start with vision. This is how we begin to see our world in increments of opportunity, is when we start with vision and we stop reacting. I'll give you like this. When I was a kid, I used to look out the window when my parents were driving down the road, and I loved to look straight out. But have you ever done this before? Like, when you look straight out the window, everything feels like it's moving 100 miles per hour. Like, you can't make out signs, you can't read them, you can't make out streets, everything is moving so fast, and eventually you get car sick and you feel like you're gonna puke. And so what do? I would then look ahead. I began to look ahead, and when you look ahead, or when you start with vision, everything begins to slow down. Like, you can now see what's coming. You can now read the street signs. You can now make out people. You can now see houses clearly. Everything comes into focus when we start with vision. And so here's what I would love for you to do as we end this segment this morning, is say in your brain, there's opportunity ahead. That's all I want you to say, is there's opportunity ahead. And I want you to begin to think about 2021 in terms of, where am I going? What am I doing? And what difference am I going to make? Because leaders ultimately focus on the opportunity rather than what's been lost. Thanks for joining us on this segment of In 5, where we hope we led you forward in life and faith in 5 minutes. We'll see you next week for episode 4.